What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. You know, either I've got to get a soapbox to stand on, or I need to get one of those TV mantle lifts that'll bring the TV down, because it's way tall past me. But for my man, Jay Tuck, woo! Jay Tuck, here you go, bro. Let's make sure we get it. It will be going out tomorrow morning. There you go. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's like that. So it looks like we've got like a respite as far as the rain goes for this game for tonight. It looks like we're going to have a few injuries, although CJ Godwin looks like he's going to be back, of course. Special teams ace of ours. It'll be first time he's played this season. Carson looks like he's questionable. We'll see if he plays and so on. But I wanted to go through and listen to the talking heads, of course, as they break down this game, of course, tonight. The narrative seems to have changed on Dak Prescott, where now it used to be Dak Prescott, dink and dunker, Dak Prescott, just not good enough. They've kind of changed things on ESPN and the talking heads, and it's almost like revisionist history where they're basically saying, you can't expect Dak Prescott to win with what's going on with the Cowboys. You can't run the football. You're not using all the tools available in motion, in moving the pocket and bootlegging, play action. Your running game is terrible. And they're literally saying, Cowboys, you stink. Now, this may be the silver lining because quite often those guys are wrong. Let's listen to a little bit of their take on this.
You're going to use it. Just lining them up on the outside where people can double team or shade the safety over the top of them is not going to make you better offensively. Mm-hmm. And then, too, by moving them around, you create opportunities for other people. That's what really good players do when they play on the back end like CD does. So I think it needs to be a little bit of Where's Waldo for the rest of the season, especially tonight, to get him involved.
That would be in stark contrast to what they've been doing with them. What they've been doing with them is getting the ball on a hash and just putting them all the way out by himself and saying, hey, run in a straight line. You talked, Laura, saying 40 first-man targets. Also, half of his routes are just straight lines. He's at the bottom of the screen here. The safety goes down to the middle of the field. Now look at his body language when he doesn't get this football. I would ask the quarterback, Dak Prescott, why do you throw it to him there? But again, ball on the left hash, he's all the way up at the top of the screen by himself, furthest away from the football. He's in a straight line again, just a stop route. Dak throws it to the bottom of the screen. Ball on the left hash, he's all the way at the top of the screen by himself. He's going to run another straight line route. There's no change of direction. There's nothing. That's making it hard on this offense and the passing game. And also, if you look at the things that teams or offenses use to help their quarterback just play better, no matter who they are. Play action, motion, screens, run the football well. The Cowboys are in the bottom 7 in basically everything outside of action, and they're in the bottom 12 there. So I think that this offense just makes it harder than anybody in the NFL on their quarterback to try and play at a high, consistent rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now this offense is, hey, you go win, which is just not where the NFL is going. We're seeing those types of offenses increasingly.
Could it be the fact that we ended up having Brandon Cooks went back to Dallas a week before training camp ended? Could it be that CeeDee Lamb wasn't there, all of training camp? Could these things actually have a effect on this? You damn right they do. That's why there should be some hope that we got time to get this together.
Shrink in number because they're being surpassed by numbers that do all the things Dan just described, and it's reflected in the stats. Right now, on throws over 10 yards, the Dallas Cowboys have the second lowest separation in the NFL. In
there you go.
The lowest percentage of open targets in the league. Everything feels so tight. Now, some of that is exacerbated by game script because they're falling behind. They aren't able to get to their play action.
And because you can't run the football.
Not able to run the ball. But even early in games, before things get out of hands, you're seeing this as well. It is too much just asking the players to go win, and that is not a reliable strategy in today's NFL.
Yeah, Ryan, that Giants front is no joke, by the way, too. 8 sacks last week in their win over Cleveland. Ooh. How big a challenge do they provide tonight for an offense that's already
This is not sounding good.
they're a huge challenge. And I know Marcus and everybody on this show knows, but if you haven't seen Dexter Lawrence play, you need to tap in tonight. First of all, he was built out of a wall of granite. He's one of the largest humans I've ever seen and I've ever walked past, and thought to myself, you know what? If he jumped on me, I don't really have a win. That's the type of dude that Dexter Lawrence is. And you think about the addition of Brian Burns. Also, I want to bring to your attention what Jason Pinnock has been in the rush. Some of these things that Shane Bowen has done, the defensive coordinator of the Giants, adding him to the rush. He has 3 sacks on the year. He put a tremendous amount of pressure on Jaden Daniels and also Deshaun Watson. They're very tricky up front. And if they can put pressure on Dak Prescott, it helps, because Drew Phillips, who I think is a future star at the nickel position, is out, and also Adoree Jackson is banged up.
RC, I love that you brought up Dexter Lawrence. First of all, he's a help the bear type of guy. So if you ever see Dexter Lawrence fight a bear, help the bear. The second thing is this. Dallas struggled.
Okay.
Dallas struggled against Baltimore in line stunts and movements. Is something that RC alluded to. This is not about pressure. It's about what you create up front based on protection. And they were able to get the Deshaun in that Cleveland game in that way too. And we saw Carl Van Noy run the hoop and get to Dak Prescott in the same semblance and variation. So not only is it about him being big and physical and winning his one-on-ones, he's a space eater in the passing game as well. And what I mean is pulling 2 offensive linemen to create space for another guy to work. It's going to be interesting to see how Dallas is going to try to block the interior of this defensive line.
Yeah, Giants win because the vintage defensive line performance, like you guys were talking about. Marcus, you talked about the Baltimore game. What Baltimore did was they took Travis Jones, who's not Dexter Lawrence, but a good defensive tackle, and they put him over that rookie center's head. And they said, hey, you're going to run through half of his body, and then these are the humps that you were talking about. Could you imagine if this is a Thibodeau or Brian Burns tonight? That's a big ask for that rookie center, Cooper Beebe, to try and handle and pass.
I'm not worried about Cooper Beebe as much as I am
being the guy that's over his head,
tackles.
doing this. I mean, where he is just manhandling that rookie center, and then the athleticism that Marcus kind of references. I think that's a huge thing to pay attention to tonight. The interior, how they handle Dexter Lawrence and some of
be a tough game,
and some of those loopers or rappers.
Yeah.
I think, we were thinking about the Cowboys. I know. Travis Jones, by the way, there's a name that we should talk about more because he was an absolute beast in that game. We're thinking about the Dallas Cowboys the last 2 weeks, right? We're talking about the offense, everything looks tight, CD hasn't involved. I think you want to go back to week 1. Think about how they looked against the Cleveland Browns. Think about how quickly that ball was coming out, the way they were able to mitigate the pass rush, some of the things they were doing in the backfield. That, to me, is the formula for this team, certainly tonight, where if you can get past that pass rush, a lot of opportunities there in that Giants defense.
There you go. And in my mind, what the Cowboys are going to need to do is they're going to need to manufacture runs. Okay, by that I mean they're going to need to use the passing game, the short, quick-hitting passing game, getting the ball in space to the running backs and things to try and slow down the rush. If you end up hitting guys with screens, the defensive lineman is rushing, trying to get to that quarterback, thinking about that sack, then all of a sudden, boom, the ball drops over there. Now he's got to turn and run. You do that enough times, it's going to make them hesitate and help give your offensive linemen a chance. That's where the play action will come in and be able to start then setting them up. By no means is this going to be an easy game for the Cowboys. Let's be real here. The New York Giants are going to be looking at this and saying, here's an opportunity for us to get out from under the shadows and make a name for us that tomorrow, because there's no other games, that tomorrow we got the monkey off our backs and now people are having to look at us and we can hurt the Dallas Cowboys, a team that he has not lost to since 2016. It's going to be tough. Whew. It's going to be tough. All right. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.